And with that, then we'll move on to our reports section. And the first item under reports is the recognition of staff and students. And we're lucky to have a number of interesting things tonight. Mrs. Zardi, if you could sort of walk us through.
Absolutely. We'll start out with Mrs. Clark and our Battle of the Books team from LaGrange Elementary School. So if all those kids and parents should come on up too.
We had a group of 8 talented 5th graders that read many, many books throughout the school year this year and took a test along with other students from around Wisconsin. And in the entire state of Wisconsin, reached the 3rd place of knowing as much as they did know about the books that they read and the different questions that they had. So I'm going to have them introduce themselves and first and last name, and they all know you're from LaGrange, so why don't you tell them the favorite book that you read because you were part of Battle of the Books. And yes, you can only pick one favorite book. That's going to be a challenge. These guys like to read.
I'm Maya Hennessy, and the favorite book I read was Wonder by R.J. Palacio.
What's the book about?
It's about a boy who he was born with a deformed face, and he was homeschooled all his life until middle school, and it's how he went through his first year of middle school.
I'm Samara Steinmetz. My favorite book was City of Ember by Jeanne Duprat.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
The book's about the city and they have to reuse everything because there's a darkness and it keeps, they have to use big floodlights to keep the city in light.
I'm Andy Bard, and my favorite book was Wonder by R.J. Palacio.
Tell us a little bit about it. Did the main character remind you of you?
He doesn't really have a deformed face.
Oh. I'm sorry, it's the same book then.
Yeah.
How about...
They already passed the test, Mrs. Zardi.
How about this first year in middle school? Do you think you might have some of those challenges?
No.
No. Okay.
That was a good book.
My name is AJ Eagleson, and
Don't say Wonder is your favorite book.
my favorite book was City of Ember by Jeanne Duprat. Same book as hers.
Can you give us a little more detail about those floodlights?
They have to find a way out of the City of Ember before the lights go out.
We're very proud of your team.
And we do have 4 more members. 3 of the members right now are on a bus somewhere, hopefully towards Washington, D.C., because that's where they're supposed to be going. I know it took them a while to get to their destination for lunch today, but things were going a little bit better this afternoon with the ride. So we also want to recognize Justin Gerke, Mitchell Erickson, Anna Jackson, and Emma Reeder for their work on the Battle of the Books team also. So congratulations, and we'll be displaying this at LaGrange for everyone to see.
Congratulations, you guys. That's very good work. We're very proud of you. Keep it up.
Thank you to the parents, because reading at home is something that a lot of kids really don't like to do. So you're obviously encouraging an environment of reading at home, and that's really appreciated. Kids benefit from that greatly. So.
Great. Good. Thank you for coming.
Yes. The next group we want to recognize, we have students from Thailand who are visiting for the next 2 weeks. Tim Genevico actually is hosting the teacher from Thailand, whose name is Dream. So, Mr. Genevico, would you like to come up with Dream, and maybe your wife as well, she's hosting, and then the families and the Thai students, if you want to come on up to be introduced. We're really glad you're here.
Come on over, there's lots of room.
You want to be on TV.
I'm going to have host families. I'm going to have either you or your student introduce your student from Thailand. So, where did Whitney go off to? Whitney, we'll start. So, first of all, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Tim Genevico. I'm the middle school assistant principal. This is my wife, Whitney, who is trying to hide behind me here. And we are hosting the teacher. There's one teacher, and that is Dream. This is Dream from Thailand. Dream is actually a high school chemistry teacher. She teaches 10th grade and 12th grade chemistry in Thailand. So she is a high school age teacher. All the other students from Thailand that are here are actually not from Dream's school. They are all students from other areas of Thailand that they had to pass a pretty rigorous test and be able to pay their way to come to America and come to specifically Tomah, Wisconsin for this experience. They came on Saturday into Madison, and they are going to be here until Wednesday, May 7th. So they are with us for about 2.5 weeks. They've had lots of very cool experiences already. Today they went out to Fort McCoy, and they spent about half their day with Fort McCoy. Yesterday, the highlight of their trip, they were with Miss Zardy.
I don't know if it was a highlight, but they learned how to play tetherball at Warren's Elementary School. They had never heard of that before, so they saw what that was about.
Yep. And they've already visited our new mayor. They have lots of other things on their agenda, including a trip to Mall of America next Friday, which I'm sure will be an exciting thing for them to see there. So, without much further ado, I'm going to let each one of the host families come on up, and they can introduce their student from Thailand and introduce themselves to you. So, go ahead, Aaron, you can start.
Hi, I'm Addie Giddings. This is my Thai student Beam. This is my mom, Sunshine, and my dad's hiding over there. His name's Gary. My little sister, Alina. I don't know, it's been a pretty cool experience being able to host someone from a different part of the world. I get to learn about their culture, and they get to learn about the American culture, and I'm really glad I got to do this.
I'm Taylor Goulart, and I'm hosting, this is Parn. She's from Bangkok, and she's 14 years old, along with most of all of us. And it's been a really great experience. She's taught me some things already, and I've taught her some things, so it's been really cool.
And who's behind you?
Oh, my mom and my dad.
My name is Jay Johnson, and this is Satang. He is a 7th grader. He's 13 years old, and he's from Bangkok. And it's been pretty neat because I've never really seen many people from around the world because I've never really left Tomah very much. So it's pretty neat having him over.
Hi, I'm Hayden, and this is Harris. She's 14, and this is my mom. This has been a really interesting experience to have, potentially making a new friend from somewhere that I've never seen and possibly never will see. And I think it's been a lot of fun.
This is Boom, and this is my sister and my mom and dad. And I learned a lot of things about Thailand, about where they go to school, and it's different about our school and their school. and different culture.
Your name is?
Cody.
Cody. Okay.
What are some things that he has shared that are different about American education? I know we've talked to Dream
They don't use calculators and math.
They don't use calculators. Anything else you can think of?
He said that they don't wear shoes in the building.
Okay.
I tried to ask them, what was different, and all they could say was everything. Everything. Welcome.
Yep.
Welcome.
Yeah, let me just say to all our Thai guests, I'll repeat it, welcome. Thank you for coming. We're very fortunate that you're adventurous and brave enough to come here and really help broaden sort of our horizons. So thank you very much for going to all the trouble to come here. It really helps us. And to all our host families, thank you very much for giving them that opportunity, for your generosity and hospitality. It's very kind of you.
And somebody to really be recognized that's not here tonight is Verona Chambers, who teaches German at the middle school. She really is the one who organized all this and got everything together with all the families. So Verona Chambers, who has done this before, hosted other German students and other students from Thailand and other countries. She does a wonderful job of bringing such a great experience to people from other countries and people in our community. So she certainly should be recognized as well.
Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you for coming.
I did include, embed for you that document on this program. This is a formal exchange program run through the Department of Public Instruction, called the Sunrise Program. Okay, I also just wanted to point out to you, we've talked a number of times about the high school students who went down to the Wisconsin Association of School Boards and did the videotaping, and that process is done and it is on our website. So I just wanted to point out two people, if they would like to take a look at that. You can go to the district website and scroll down to, did I go by it? Yes.
Yeah, that's toward the top.
Toma students create video recap, and you can read the full story, and just by clicking on this you get the actual videotape that is on the WASB website. And again, the students from Toma did a great job in producing this, and it's really an honor, I think, for the Toma School District and those students to have been a part of this. So I'd encourage you to watch it if you have not done so. Also, we wanted to recognize tonight, Malachi is not here. He may come to the next meeting, but as you know, Mr. Buss was in charge of taking care of the spelling bee this year, so he took 7 students from Toma Middle School, not just from Toma Middle School, but grades 4 through 8 to Bangor for the competition. And Malachi is a 5th grader at Miller Elementary School, and he took he was in the top 3. I don't know if he took 2nd or 3rd place in that competition, but I did embed, I believe, a picture of him with his trophy for you, and Mr. Buss had just thought we should recognize that before it was kind of outdated. And Mr. Buss did share that out of the 7 spellers, 5 of them did make it to the top 15 for our district, so that they felt that the students did very well. Okay, and then our last group of students to recognize are our FFA members. Mrs. Bailey is here along with our middle school advisor, and they're going to talk about students who are headed on to state competition and who have been recognized. So if you folks want to come up and explain. Thank you, Kelly, for being here.
Hello, I'll start off. I'm Ann Peterson. I've had the honor of serving as this year's FFA president, which has been wonderful. If you don't know a lot about FFA, it's a really great organization and it has a lot of really great people. I've met a lot of people through the competitions and conferences we've attended. But we're here tonight because we are being recognized at the state level for some of the things that we've worked on throughout the year. What I'm being recognized for is called a proficiency. It takes a long application that has to do with our SAE, or our supervised agricultural experience, which mine is my mom, Patty. We live on a farm with horses, so mine was in the area of equine science, and it's a placement. There are two categories you can be in, placement or entrepreneurship, and I chose placement because I do not own any part of our family business. But the application process is actually quite long, and you have to account for all of the things that you've done in your entire time as an FFA member. So mine started when I was a freshman, so I had to look at all of my financial standings that I've had with the whole experience through horses, and I've had to account for all of my activities I've participated in with my horses, and I've also had to discuss my skills that I learned and all of the hours I've spent working with my horses, doing anything with them. And I was fortunate enough to send in my application and take 8th at state and receive a gold award. So I will be down at state convention receiving that.
I'm Matt Kortbein. I had the opportunity to serve as the FFA Vice President this past year, and going along with what Annie said, it really was a great experience, and I learned a lot of great stuff. I'm also receiving a proficiency award this year. Mine is in the area of grain production. I live on a family grain farm, and I went along with a lot of the work that Annie talked about with my hours and my financials, and a lot of the skills that I had come up with. And I was very fortunate and finished second in the state with a gold rating for my grain production as well. So. This year I'm also very fortunate. I worked hard this past winter and on filling out what's called a Wisconsin State FFA degree. A state FFA degree is comprised of academic work, community service, also your supervised agricultural experience, and work that you do in school and in FFA. And I was fortunate enough to hand in an application for that and receive that this coming June as well. So. So the state convention is definitely going to be busy. We were fortunate this year with Emma Heiser being a state FFA officer to host our sectional speaking contest in Tomah. I participated in what's called a discussion meet. In the discussion meet, you're given a topic and you have kind of basically a roundtable discussion, if you will, with many students involved, and you're judged based on your knowledge of the material and how you interact with the other students that you're competing with. And I placed first at districts, and then placed first at sectionals again, and will be competing at the state competition this June with 9 others from across the state.
Way to go.
So, thank you. And then Mrs. Bailey and I had talked, and I said that Emma Heiser had served as the state FFA officer from Section 3 this year. There's about 30 schools that comprise Section 3 for the Wisconsin State FFA, and this summer I'm going to run as well for a state FFA office because I'd like to serve in that position as well. So.
Okay. Good luck.
Good luck. Congratulations.
My name is Joelle Adana. I'm a junior, and this year I served as our chapter's secretary. I filled out an application to participate in the FFA State Choir, which performs at State Convention in June and also at State Fair in Milwaukee in August. And I was fortunate to get accepted in that. So I'll be performing with many other people from our state in our blue jackets at State Fair and State Convention this year.
One thing that Joelle forgot to mention is it wasn't just an application. She actually had to do an audition tape to go with it. So it's not just filling out and having your choir director say that you can sing all these things, but you also have to submit an audition tape that goes with it. very outstanding job. Matt, when he runs for state office, he'll actually go through 4 different interview styles, I should say. He has a group interview, a business interview, a personal interview, and then a situational interview. And then from there, they also do a resume and an application, which they're also judged on. If he makes it to the final 2, then he goes in front of 60 of his peers from our section, and then they have about 4 speeches that they have to do in front of them, and then they're elected from there. So it is a pretty rigorous process that he will be going through. One thing that Kelly and I would like to extend to the board is Emma Heiser will be hosting or the session chair of the Wednesday night session at state convention. So she will be the chair for that session. Not every officer gets a chance to be a chair, and she did get selected to be a chair that night. It would be awesome if we could have some representation down there to see that. It would be really awesome in that aspect. So
What is that date?
it is 11th. Yep. And we'd love to have you guys come. They do have special things for school board and also administration. If you're interested, please let us know on that. So,
And what office is Matt running for?
when you run like Matt is, you actually get elected, and then those 10 officers they get elected Wednesday night. So it'd be kind of a dual purpose. Hopefully he'll get elected Wednesday night, get to see Emma, and then Thursday morning they meet at about 5 o'clock in the morning, the 10 with the state executive director, and then from there they have to vote amongst themselves of who's going to be reporter, sentinel, treasurer, parliamentarian, and the president comes from the year before's officer team.
And then there was also one student in band?
Yes, and we missed one student. I'm sorry. She wasn't able to be here tonight. Emma White was accepted into state FFA band for saxophone, and she also had to fill out an application and get a band director's approval, plus do an audition tape too on top of it. So.
Well, congratulations on all the great accomplishments. Yeah, again, I don't think people realize all that's involved in FFA and the business skills, the leadership skills, the speaking skills. I mean, there are very few organizations that really have sort of all of that emphasis in other school activities, and I think it's really unique in FFA. So I am very glad we have it, and impressed with how good our chapter is.
Thank you.
And the state convention, I was in FFA, and I do have a blue corduroy chapter. Am I allowed to wear it? I think I could get it on. I haven't paid dues in a few years.
Join the alumni.
Yes, you can join the alumni.
Oh, I have to join the alumni.
Yes.
Well, anyway,
That's I'll let you wear the jacket.
Okay. But congratulations. That's just excellent work. It really is. You've make us very proud of what you've done.
And it will be held at the Alliance Center down in Madison, is where it'll all take place.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming. Thank you.
So that's all of our recognition
Okay.
of students and staff. So we're
Well, that
really
was-
very proud of all the students. Again, many great things happening in the Toma School District.
Yeah. There's a lot more than that, too. That's just what we have to showcase tonight. Thanks for coming. You're always welcome here.